Hello, welcome back to Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching. This is Erin. So I'm very excited because this Sunday we have our informational on India and our yoga teacher training. Priya and I worked together to put together a presentation, and Laura's helping, sort of like my perfect trifecta team. And we have 12 to 15 people coming, which is exciting because we only have 8 spots left for India. So we'll see how it goes. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my sort of New Year's word. I've had a word every year for the past few years. So I've had dharana, which is focus. And then last year was organization. Not sure what the Sanskrit word is for that. I'm sure there's one. And this year is ceremony. So ceremony is something that I've been working into my life in different ways. Certainly when I step at the top of my mat in Namaste like a good yogi, there's some ceremony involved, right? You place your palms together in Anjali Mudra, bringing together the masculine and feminine, the Pingala, the Ida, the Surya, the Chandra, however you want to view it. And you sort of take that time in ceremony to come present. When I've been coming to the studio lately, I've been lighting candles and lighting incense and just taking a moment to pray to Durga. So I had a Vedic astrologer who a couple episodes back, the title of the podcast was something along the lines of Vedic astrology and yoga siddhis. So my astrologer told me that Durga, she's my girl. And basically, Durga loves me, and if I love her back, she will help me kind of break through my block. So here's the thing, I'm not Hindu necessarily, though most people say, well, you can't be Hindu. So I have an affinity for spiritual representations of, aspects of ourselves. So, for example, I'm looking around the studio and I see Vishnu. So Vishnu is known as the preserver, right? He sort of keeps things in check. He's sort of like management. And then I'm looking over and I see Ganesha. So Ganesha is remover of obstacles, blesser of new beginnings. So usually when you have some kind of puja, Ganesha is always invited, right? He's like an esteemed guest and kind of helps to keep things, the energy flowing, and really grounds in the intention. There's different sort of yogic paraphernalia all over my studio. In the corner over here on the very beautiful puja, we have a very big Durga. And so Durga for me is, I call her the multitasking queen because she has 8 or 10 arms depending on where in India you see a picture of her, and she has different weapons that represent different things. And so to me, this is sort of a representation of, sometimes I have to be martial arts Erin, and I really have to be strict and firm and fiery. And then other times I'm very soft and nurturing Erin. Other times I am a blend of the two, and sometimes I'm some other aspect of myself. Me being able to switch, for example, from martial artist to yogi to healer, and then at the same time have them all at once, for a while I kind of felt like, maybe this is too much. I'm a very complicated person. And then when I went to India and studying Kalaripayattu, and all of the practitioners there, they're healers, they're fighters, they can kill you, but they can also help heal your wounds. And they're very grounded people that are tapasyans, so meaning they have regular practice, or what you want to call sadhakas. They show up for their regular discipline on the daily because that helps to focus their mind, it helps to clear their energy, and they're dedicated to that path. And like most things, all of the paths are about service to others. So some maybe a little bit more than others, but certainly the ultimate goal is that you're serving. So ever since I talked with the Vedic astrologer about Durga, and I was like, yes, I feel that. I love Durga. So I've been praying to Durga pretty much every day. I offer her some flowers. I light some incense. And it's it's about what Durga represents. So Durga represents this sort of like fierce aspect that can embody all the different characteristics and pull them into one very special being. And we all have that capacity. So me, I'm really focusing on that. So I'm bringing more ceremony to that. You know, like, and what is ceremony? Well, certainly there's acts that we can take. There's sacred space that we can create. And then it's coming present and feeling, like setting intention and then being with it. So I think that's the biggest part about ceremony. Now, you might find in your life that there's at least one area of your life where you have a bit of ceremony. So maybe it's, you know, for example, before taking a bath, like you dry brush your skin, or maybe after a bath, like you rub lotion or something. Like that is a mini ceremony. You're taking time with you and you're breathing and doing like this sacred gesture on your body. If you take a yoga practice, you know, you're creating a ceremony there, hopefully, coming to your mat and doing some pranam, like some little prayer or bow or setting an intention. And then certainly when you're making different shapes with your body in a conscious way, you're casting spells with your body. I was with my friend Myra. Hi, Myra, if you listen to this. And we went out on New Year's and she said, I feel like we were casting spells. And I was like, we were. It was cool. We had this picture that we took right around these flames. And she had like all these green little, I don't know, they look like little spirits that or angels that were just like kind of supporting her because she's going through this big transformation. And so, yeah. So if we have something to show up for, we can create some ceremony around it to encapsulate it, right? So whether it's casting magic spells with your body, or if it's just, you know, having some sweet present time with your lover or your partner. Matt and I, a few months ago, we had one of our deep spiritual conversations, and we decided that we needed to have more ceremony in the bedroom. Right? So we've been together almost 6 years and we talk about our inner work. You know, people know that we work hard for what we have. And I think a lot of people admire it and that's awesome. We work hard for it. It's not like, you know, it's super easy. We've taken a lot of time to figure each other out and we've been through a lot to have what we have. So we were having a discussion and we decided, yeah, you know what, before we go into the bedroom and connect, we need to have a little bit more ceremony. And so, you know, it's like you're with someone 5-6 years, you gotta shake things up. So we decided to, you know, move where we would normally conduct our business into the living room, and we lit a bunch of candles. I made a charcuterie board. We put on a different kind of music. He put on some sort of French something. It was really delightful. I don't even know what it was, but it was like she was singing in French. It was beautiful. And, you know, I like lit some incense. We consciously connected, eye gazing, like just touching each other's body. And then, you know, one thing led to another and it was very enjoyable, you know, and it really like, we had heightened pleasure. It was beautiful. So if you take the time to create ceremony around what you're doing, it just makes it better because you're more present, you're more heart connected. Another example. So if you are eating, like if you're just like eating over the sink, like there's not a lot of ceremony going on there, right? So rather, if you're like, okay, I'm going to have my meal. And we have these little tables. We have a very small place that we're renting right now. We're saving up to get a bigger place. But so we don't actually have a space for like a dining room table, which is a little sad. But we've made it a point to create ceremony of breaking out these little tables. And we put those down so then it's sort of like a pop-up table. And that action of like setting the table and then, you know, putting the silverware and the napkins and like taking some deep breaths and, you know, maybe saying a prayer over your food helps you to slow down, helps to make that moment sacred. Here's the thing. Life is happening. It's just going to continue happening until it doesn't for you, right? And you leave this body. But in the meantime, while you do have the chance to spend in this body, having little pockets of ceremony set up. So maybe you start with a yoga practice. Maybe you're not doing yoga and you just start with that, and you want to start with like a little prayer, a little mantra, or maybe just breathing and coming present. Now, maybe you also add some meditation. There's another chance for a bit of ceremony with yourself. And then maybe you're like, you know what? 1 out of my 3 meals, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to like chew my food. I'm going to taste it. And I'm just going to see how I like that. Which meal at the end of the day that I enjoy the most? Probably the one that you had a bit of ceremony with, right? And then, ceremony with friendships. My friend Anik and I met last night at Kava Social, and, she ordered me a drink. We sat down and, we just like shared stories and connected, and it was wonderful. Like, I love her so much. And we created this little container of connecting. So there's a little ceremony involved in it. So, whatever you're doing, trying to create some ceremony. In the evening, I've created a bit more ceremony. So phone is off at 8. I pull out my Kindle, or I pull out a book, or I'm learning Malayalam, like a little bit, just so I can understand what my teacher's saying. But then, I also want to be able to converse with people, like just a little bit. So I'm learning the alphabet. So that's something that's kind of low key. It doesn't take a huge amount of mental energy to trace the alphabet. Sometimes I have a ceremony of massaging my feet with oil. It's called the Abhyanga in Ayurveda, and that helps to kind of ground, because I'm creating a ceremony over my next action, which is hopefully going to be sleep. Though last night I didn't get a lot of it, so I'm a little dopey and sleepy today. I hope you don't mind. Creating ceremony. The more that I create ceremony in my life, the more that I slow down with myself and I understand myself more. The more that I have a chance to love the person that I am. The more that I'm not rushing from one thing to the next thing in a seemingly endless list of tasks that I have to do. It's like, fuck. It's never ending. And no lie, I have this to-do list that is really super long. It's on a Google Doc. And sometimes it's ideas, and then I'll delete them. And then there's certain things that I would have liked to do, and it's negotiable. So it's super long. That list is never ending. There's always going to be something that you can do. So if there's endless things, and there's certainly not enough time to do all the things that you choose to do, try to be conscious, try to be present. So on that note, let's do a small meditation. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're driving, just, make sure that you're not closing your eyes or anything like that. Take some deep breaths. If you find that you get too relaxed, please turn it off. Do it when you're sitting down. But take a few deep breaths if you are in an area where you can sit. Draw awareness to the index and thumb. And maybe you can press them together. Palms down if you feel like you need to be grounded. Palms up if you feel like your energy needs to be uplifted. And if you're not quite sure which one palm up and one palm down. See if you can breathe with a little bit of texture. So almost like fogging up a mirror. But repeating that action with the mouth closed and breathing out through your nose. Same exact feeling in the throat. Now recreate that feeling in the throat as you inhale. Breathing up high in the nasal cavity. Toning and lifting the upper palate. And focus on the top of your inhale And the bottom of your exhale. And see if you can draw your awareness to your beating heart. Your heart constantly contracting and expanding. Constantly working for you, loving you. And pumping this vital force through your body. And just focusing your awareness here. Continue breathing. Your heart is a very powerful energy center. And so just very gently pulling in anything that you have not processed yet today. And allow your heart to teach you how to contract a little bit and expand. How to pull into center line and then how to expand out towards periphery. How to pull in, how to let go. And see if you can match up your breath cycle with your heart. Take another deep breath in. And exhale out. Set an intention for the rest of your day, or if it's the end of your night, think of for the next day, who do I want to be? What do I want to choose? If it's the beginning of your day, who do I want to be? What do I want to choose? And then bring your palms together to heart center. Good. And softly open up your eyes. Good. Thank you for joining me for this podcast. Namaste. And just so you know, I did record a new meditation. It's going on Insight Timer as soon as Matt edits it. So it's already done. I already did it. So it should be released on Insight Timer hopefully by next week. I will let you know. I'll post it all over. If you're not signed up for a newsletter, please do, because you get the first sneak peek at all the things that I release and do. Again, we have 8 spots left for yoga teacher training. 8 spots have just been I had a bunch of people sign up and then just 8 spots hovering. So we have our informational on Sunday. If that is something that you would like to attend via Zoom or in person, you can email me, Erin@erincoach.com. We have a Zoom option, so you can join us. And I think that's it. All right, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the podcast and if it's helping you, please consider writing a review. You can go to iTunes or Google Play, go into the search bar and type in Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching, scroll down, and you can leave a review. This helps other people to find me as well as bumps us up in the search ratings. Also, this podcast is sponsor-free, so that means we don't receive anything for doing it. If you feel so inclined and this podcast is helping to support you and you want to return the favor and help to support any production costs of the podcast, feel free to give a donation to a Venmo link, Thrive Yoga Fit, or PayPal, Erin@erincoach.com. If you don't have the means, don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. You're all good. But if you would like to give back, you can give back in those ways. Thank you so much. Namaste.